As the old saying goes, everything old is new again. And that certainly is the case with Acton's Landing, a 4.5 acre mixed residential infill project in the heart of Annapolis Historic District. In 1907, the Annapolis Emergency Hospital was established. Roughly 100 years later, the hospital was relocated, and Acton's Landing began its seamless transition of creating the perfect formula of transitioning between the existing 1920 homes, a multi-story residential building, townhomes, and single-family homes.
You have to remember, this was all hospital building. As a matter of fact, I brought with me my insurance card because this is actually where the emergency room used to be, and I used to come here a number of times to get stitched up, so I automatically take out my card. Anybody that's lived in Annapolis for more than 15 years has probably experienced the hospital here in one way or another, so there are a lot of memories. I know when they tore down the building, a lot of people came and took a brick away with them as a memento.
The hospital was just one of 3 historic buildings on site that were protected during the demolition of the hospital structures and adaptively reused. The hospital itself was converted into condominiums and a community meeting room.
The other buildings that were preserved in the development are the Hardy House and the Franklin House, which are 1920 homes that are important to integrate into the existing neighborhood.
The development was designed with careful attention to the Secretary of the Interior's standards for rehabilitation and new construction, along with the Annapolis Historic Preservation Commission's design guidelines. Of utmost importance is the change in use from a large professional institution to a residential area.
Well, where I'm standing right now used to be a parking lot. It was called the nurse's lot, and there were roads that went down and along the waterfront that did 2 things. Runoff would go directly from pavement into the creek, which empties into the bay, and there was no real public access to the water, even though this was a street end. So with this project, we were able to create this park that acts to filter water going into the bay, as well as created water access for people for small boats, kayaks, things like that, so they can enjoy the water.
Streets were rerouted to create a new waterfront park. The park transformed an intersection busy with traffic and surface parking lots to a lush green grassy oasis, drastically reducing impervious coverage.
Due to its proximity to Spa Creek and the bay, it was very important that we use best management practices to control stormwater runoff and for water quality. In this particular site, we've utilized rain gardens coming down from between the houses through this area. We have an infiltration system all through this common area, down through here, and we were able to reduce the impervious surface from 90% to 60% in this particular project.
During construction, the developer was also required to constantly monitor water quality in the adjacent creek to ensure that construction-related sediments were handled on land and were not causing increased sedimentation in the creek. Besides setting standards for environmental best practices, the new waterfront park has also provided a recreational family location for other city residents, as it is the largest public green space within downtown Annapolis.
We also saved a number of trees, oaks, maples, and hollies. And there was a number of large ginkgos that had to be moved, and we transplanted them to a nursery, and after the construction process, we reinstalled them in this park.
Acton's Landing lies 2 blocks from the primary mixed-use transit corridor, Inner West Street, which is an office, retail, restaurant, and entertainment area. The residential development supports the city's corridor-focused mixed-use strategy. Residents of Acton's Landing can walk to shopping, entertainment, recreation, and transit. The location is such that it relates to separate and distinct existing historic neighborhoods that have evolved over time. These neighborhoods and streetscapes were specifically analyzed and the results incorporated into this new development. The primary goals were to redevelop an infill site in such a way that it would support mixed-use neighborhood, increase the public open space, reclaim the waterfront as a vibrant public space, maximizing views and use, engage the community and collaborate with a broad spectrum of organizations, respect the historic context of the site, reuse existing historic buildings on site, transition the building density from high-density commercial use to low-density single-family residential use, integrate the new development seamlessly into the historic fabric of the surrounding neighborhoods, preserve and reuse the historic 1907 portion of the hospital building and two 1920s-era homes, reactivate existing streets, respect and improve the environment, integrate state-of-the-art stormwater management into new public spaces, minimize impervious surfaces within the waterfront park, which is within the 100-foot critical area buffer, and preserve existing large caliper trees. Acton's Landing proudly stands in the heart of Annapolis and represents the dedication of our environmental stewards in city government. The area embraces the past while using current environmental best practices to ensure future generations will enjoy all the conveniences of modern life in historic Annapolis.